Well, hello, I'm Dewayne.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Dave.
And this is another episode of the Beer-Bourbon-Breakfast podcast.
Or Triple B for short.
Hashtag Triple B.
Can we say that? Is that like
What's wrong with Triple B?
I don't.
No, nothing.
Is that trademark?
I'm thinking of a guy with highlighted tips on his hair.
That's Triple D.
Oh, see, that's how much I pay attention to
Yeah.
him.
I thought you were going to be...
It's not Biners, Brivens, and Bives.
It is if you're if you claim the Bloods or whatever. I don't know.
there is another podcast that uses Triple B, and it's a beer-related podcast.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, maybe.
But I don't think... I don't know. I have to check. They may have actually kind of went away.
Oh, okay.
But we're still going to do it.
All right.
Turf War.
They might be the Triple B podcast. We're just BBB podcast.
Yeah.
We're a Triple B.
We're a Triple B.
One of those kind of deals.
All right, guys. It's been 2 weeks.
It has.
What's everybody up to?
You know.
I'm just still reeling from the end of TikTok.
Ooh, R.I.P.
These two fools got the shock of their life last night.
Man,
I can't doom scroll anymore. What am I supposed to do?
stuff around your house.
You just
Like,
made that word. You made that word up.
No, I didn't.
What the hell is a doom scroll?
That's
Just when you feverishly scroll through TikToks.
Oh, I thought it was old, like TikTok videos of old Doom, like you're playing the game Doom. And it's just this infinite hallway.
I mean, that might be a thing, but that never showed up on my For You page.
Yeah.
So.
What was that other?
R.I.P. TikTok.
Like Wolfensburger.
Glad it's
or
gone.
something?
Wolfensburger.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein.
Yeah.
That's a new burger joint and stuff
Wolfensburger.
on Franklin.
Yeah.
That sounds delicious.
Wolfensburger. Hello, welcome to Wolfensburger. We don't have burgers.
Isn't that weird? It's one of those kind
Yeah.
of
Well,
you know.
glad to see it go.
Oh, no, that's not.
They can all disappear as far as I'm concerned.
How dare you?
I mean, and then how would you entertain yourself on the toilet?
A book.
Look, we all know you don't read books, okay? So don't break out, read a book.
The
Picture book.
Seinfeld quote book, it's got some other stuff in it too that I have on my toilet, although it's only like 4 by 5 inches and it's like huge words and it's still a book, Dave.
You know what I did before TikTok? I actually would grab bottles of shampoo or whatever. I would just read the back label.
I have done that. I have definitely, I've like forgotten my phone.
Yeah.
Like, well,
Yeah. I need to read something.
phosphorus rate 10%, red dye 70.
A lot of stuff in this conditioner. What is?
Let me read the ingredients for this mane and tail.
I mean, magazines, they still make those.
What?
Yeah.
Do people still keep magazines in their bathroom? Is that still a thing?
I don't.
I don't.
You used to.
Who did?
Well,
Oh, you did?
I'm just
By association.
Oh.
Hey,
Okay.
you know, yeah, but yeah, it's one of those things. It's we just have to find a new way of entertaining ourselves. You know,
I love looking at 12-year-old issues of Our State in the bathroom.
I mean, who doesn't?
I thought that was going to go a different way. I was about to have to walk away from this podcast.
Huh? All right. So,
Have you ever thought about installing? So we are lucky. Our bathroom, the actual water closet, is separate
A water closet.
than everything else. You know, it has its
Yeah.
own door.
Yeah.
And I have often thought about installing like a TV or maybe a tablet on the wall directly in front of me.
Hey, if they can put TVs in fridges, why not put them in the bathroom? You know.
I got a TV in every room in the house, even in the garage. So
the garage.
I
I mean, why not? You know,
because you
surround
shouldn't
sound.
sit on the toilet for 35 minutes.
Well, you know,
I mean, maybe. Well, you know, depends on
studies have shown that
Taco Bell night.
You gotta run for the border. Oh man! But anyway,
All righty. Well,
Yeah.
nobody has anything exciting to tell.
No.
I don't have anything going on here at 115 Craft, 115 Main Street.
No, wait, you have plenty going on.
Specializing.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't want to tell people you don't have anything going on.
Well,
here.
just the normal awesomeness
yeah.
of beer, craft beer, bourbon, wine, cocktails.
THC infused
Yeah.
cocktails and drinks.
Get you high, yo. I will say, we can talk about that a little bit. This is going to be triple B and T. THC.
That's got an all right ring to it.
Triple B and T. It sounds like we added a fourth guy.
It sounds like a bank.
Hey, our producer came and said, the ratings just aren't good. I'm going to add this guy T into the mix. Oh, man. Terry. Anyway, I tried one of those THC Flyers cocktails.
Yeah.
The watermelon mint.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big weed guy. I don't smoke weed, whatever. I'll occasionally do an edible or something, but
You ever looked at a $5
that thing
bill?
worked great.
Yeah.
That's probably the best THC, especially drink that I've ever had. It tasted okay. I mean, it kind of is what you expect with that.
Was it calming or what was the effect?
Yeah, calming, relaxing.
Okay.
Didn't, sometimes when I do that kind of stuff, I feel like I've just lost complete control, which I don't like.
Oh, yeah, wait, was that THC or bath salts? Which are you sure
THC
that
looks like little they grow out of the ground, right?
Yeah,
on top of like dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what THC is, right?
I had a conversation with a Yeti. It's one of those kind of deals.
You talked to him too?
Hey. Super
So yeah,
nice guy.
they're when we sell them here at 115 Craft. Yeah, pretty good. So I might give the others a try.
Would you say it was a soft landing? It was a,
That's not the way I said. That's not what I said. That's probably not what I would have said. But it is a good descriptor. I will say.
It makes sense. Makes sense.
Well, this is Triple B and T, and you're listening to the Soft Landing.
It does sound like an easy listening station. Like the Quiet Storm.
That's funny.
Well, let's move on to today's.
We getting into the biscuits?
We're getting into the biscuits of the podcast.
All right. Yeah.
Today's breakfast waffles.
Biscuit, beer, bourbon.
Today's breakfast, Dave. Take the
I
reins.
guess this is on me.
Yeah.
I didn't really prepare too well for this, so
It was quite a surprise.
yeah. So these are Biscuitville biscuits.
Delicious.
I have a sausage and egg. You have a
Bacon, egg, and cheese.
and
Dewayne has a
country ham biscuit and a chicken biscuit over here. I'm not really going to go too far into the history of Biscuitville, but it's been around in some form or fashion since 1966. The original owner, Morris Jenkins. Not Morris Jenkins. Morris Jennings.
Morris Jenkins.
Morris Jenkins is a heating and air company. It's totally different. But he was a flour broker. I'm not really sure what that is. I don't know what a flour broker is. But he had a banging biscuit recipe, and he decided to open two Mountain Brook fresh bread and milk stores
Say that 12 times fast.
in Burlington, North Carolina. But the first Biscuitville was opened in 1975 in Danville, Virginia. Funny thing about that is, even before that, in 1967, he opened a chain of pizza restaurants called Pizzaville. I guess they didn't work out because I've never heard of a Pizzaville.
Yeah.
And, from there, 1975 on, they just kept opening more and more stores, mostly in North Carolina at the time, but they've since expanded. Not to here yet.
No.
I think the closest one here is either in Rock Hill or Monroe. Or Monroe.
Yeah. I didn't know where
if
you
you
were
like.
Well, when you said Pizzaville, first thing I thought in my head was, bring it on down to Pizzaville.
That's what I thought too.
What if they used the biscuit recipe for the crust?
Maybe they did. I don't know. It didn't.
That's why it didn't work.
I didn't. Yeah.
I mean, you take biscuits and you put pizza on it? I mean, how could that not work?
Horse on a bagel.
Yeah.
Little bagels.
Little bagels.
Well, let me take a bite of this here.
Yeah.
So I've been munching on mine already. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I already took one bite of mine.
So a little bit of a background on these on Biscuitville is this is pretty regional, but even to the point where we don't have one around here. Closest one is probably either Monroe or I think
I think I just said that.
Rock Hill. Yeah.
Did you? Did you? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
there's a new one in Rock Hill.
So it's kind of, but not in Gaston County,
No.
and really not in Mecklenburg County. But yeah, but we kind of grew up where we're from, that we constantly talk about.
Yeah.
The High Point, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Piedmont Tri-area. These are like on every corner,
Yeah,
Pretty much.
and yeah,
It's like a little, just a nice little reminder of home. I got nothing.
I will say
Petridge Farms knows.
the egg that the way they cook their egg on a biscuit is okay. I'm not a huge fan. They hard fry the egg. I prefer a scrambled egg on a biscuit. And I guess you can ask for a scrambled egg.
You can. I have to do it every time Brittany's with me.
If you
We
just
have
straight
to
up
do it.
order it, it's going to be a hard fried egg.
I like the way they do it just because it's something different. Everybody does the scrambled.
Yeah, it's
thing.
different, but I feel like the scrambled egg adds like a little fluffiness to the biscuit.
Adds a certain, how do you say, je ne sais quoi?
Je ne sais
Yeah.
quoi. Yeah, I like it. I mean, this has been a debate in the past, which is better, this or Bojangles.
Ooh.
I would go with Bojangles personally.
I think as far as like a biscuit, like with meat in it, breakfast biscuit, whatever, I think they're almost equal. But if you're like, here's a biscuit to go with your dinner, I'm choosing Bojangles.
Okay.
I think their biscuits standalone are better for sure.
I think they both have a seat at the table.
Well, sure. I agree. I like Biscuitville. I'm just saying, if given the option,
Yeah, I got you.
I would
And
take Bojangles.
And I almost bought. They have other options, even though they're called Biscuitville. I mean, they have like, well, even like they have these double decker biscuits. They have like a hot honey chicken biscuit, and then they have like a waffle breakfast sandwich. I've had a waffle. It was kind of a waffle sandwich. You sure as hell weren't picking it up, but it was filled with cheesecake filling and strawberries.
This was at Biscuitville?
Yes.
Oh.
That was
Okay.
a couple months ago. I had the one in Monroe when I was on the way to the beach, but
Man.
and then they have some pastries and stuff, and the hash browns though. They're a good hash brown.
Yeah. And you can get a breakfast platter. That's what I usually get when I go
Yeah,
to Biscuitville.
yeah.
I get a breakfast plate.
It's a breakfast joint, although they do have sandwiches if you go there for lunch.
Yeah, they do.
I think you did say they close at 2.
Yes, they close at 2. I didn't say that, but yes, they do.
Yeah, it's a weird concept, but it works. They're almost always crowded. And
Yeah, they do well.
So-
for a reason.
yeah, I was in a visiting family in that area around. This come from the Thomasville, Biscuitville, for it'll be very specific. And it was 12 o'clock, and I thought, wow, they'll be kind of dead at that point. Slammed, inside, outside. Couldn't go through the drive-thru. Had to go inside. So.
Yeah. Well, what are we gonna rate this on our random rating scale? I think I give this 3 out of 5 sticks of butter.
Where do you see a stick of butter?
In the biscuit.
Yeah, exactly.
Each biscuit has a
exactly.
full stick.
I thought we were picking things out of the room.
No. I'm trying to be relevant.
Okay.
To the topic.
Okay.
You can rate yours however you want. If you want to pick something out of
I
the room,
kinda like that
If you
idea.
want to give it, 3 Famous Amos bags of cookies out of 5.
How did you know I was going to pick that? I was between the goldfish and the famous Amos.
We all knew what bag of cookies you were going to
Yeah.
Well, first off, we knew it was going to be a bag of cookies.
Bag of cookies?
Yeah.
Back I could. You have to milk a cookie.
You know what, Dave? I think I'm going to agree with you. I think 3 sticks of butter out of 5. I think that's
Yeah.
a nice unit of measurement.
I'm gonna give it 35.876 out of 43
Yep.
medals that I won at a barbecue cook-off.
Yep.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Totally makes sense. Yeah.
Dave.
You caught a mid-chew. You can chew.
I'll give you 8 out of 10 mid-chews.
I will give it 6 out of 10 half sticks of butter.
Oh, okay.
So 5
I see what you did there.
Which, if you
I
average
see
out,
what you
is
did there.
3 out of 5 sticks of butter.
Okay.
Yeah, mine today is particularly weak because chicken biscuit. Come on, I'm never going to Biscuitville. Like, I appreciate the biscuit. I'm not.
Let's
I'm
go
not-
ahead and just let everybody know. I let these people choose, and he was like, "Oh, just do whatever's left over."
Now,
That's exactly how he
in
said it.
retrospect, I may have regretted my choice.
And then he went, dip, 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 dip.
Because Bojangles exists. Like, we live in a world where a chicken
that's right.
biscuit or a chicken sandwich is like a commodity. Like, it's a thing that
Yeah.
makes or breaks a restaurant now. And this ain't it.
Saying it.
When I ordered it,
This ain't hitting.
in my head, I was like, I could have went fried steak. Could have went fried
Yes,
steak.
yes.
Oh, yeah, that would have been.
Yeah. Or I
Although
do.
Bojangles has a great country fried steak
Yes,
biscuit
they
too.
do.
It's
Yes,
really
they
good,
do.
too.
They do. I have definitely been known to order the chicken biscuit from Biscuitville, but I get egg and cheese on it. And
okay.
with the chocolate milk, that is a combo.
I used to work with somebody that would get a chicken biscuit with egg on it, and they called it a before and after biscuit.
Who was that? We've had so many of the same jobs together. This is not
Yeah,
personal.
well, it was at the airport.
Was it Tommy?
No, it was after you left. It was
Oh,
one
okay.
of the supervisors after you. had
Was
left.
Tommy's the one that got me on putting the egg and cheese on the chicken
Yeah,
biscuit?
it wasn't him. But yeah, before and after biscuit.
I never thought of doing that.
Yeah.
That makes it even more breakfast-y.
That's something. Can we all just agree though that that Bojangles owns the chicken biscuit?
Oh yeah, I would.
I think they own chicken biscuit
I
and
would
chicken
agree with
sandwich.
that.
They have the best.
Yeah, they got a good
chicken
chicken
sandwich.
sandwich too.
Like, I mean, take your Chick-fil-A and stuff it up your butt.
I mean,
Chick-fil-A breakfast next week. Little tiny chicken nuggets on yeast rolls.
Yeah, those are.
They are pretty good.
I mean, they
So-
got to see at the table.
All right.
I'm saying.
So that's breakfast.
Yeah, I'll finish this later. I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to sit here and like being chewing. Plus, with this beer, I'm not so sure this is a good mix.
It's going to be an interesting pairing.
We should. This is what's a funny word for basically saying Dave's gonna hate this beer.
It's not Dave approved.
This is a Dave's nightmare.
It's not producer Dave approved. I'll approve it.
This might be the one that changes his mind.
Maybe.
So,
I'm
you know,
sure
he'll
it
be
will.
It's a
going
good
to-
one.
Sure
he'll
it
be
will.
booking his flight to Brussels. Brussels. I'm not putting all kinds of
Oh
sound
yeah,
effects.
that in the table.
And uh-oh.
Yeah.
He was not prepared.
I knew I should open this beforehand.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, God.
Have a little image
I
of
want to get the
somebody doing a
sounds.
little dance while he's doing that. Oh,
worth all the BS.
I think that was
that
the
was
best.
a good cork.
Was that the best
Alrighty,
one?
It's a good corking.
Yeah.
Give me a glass, ladies.
Oh, I already have this one. Okay, here.
See, glass pop out of frame.
Yeah.
So this is a Cantillon, Kriek.
Dave's reaction is already.
He Cantillon stand it.
Some people say it's Cantillon.
Oh man, that's.
This is a
That
Lambic
smells good.
ale from, like I said, Cantillon, Brussels. Brussels.
The muscles of Brussels.
Specifically, I'm assuming this is pronounced Anderlecht.
Sure.
Anderlecht,
We'll
maybe.
go with that.
This is what would you call this? Like as far as like a
Delicious.
something hard to find or highly sought after.
It's a whale.
Yeah, it's a whale. There you go. Not something you see every day.
No.
I got this at Peabody's in Boone.
Okay.
They had 4 on the shelf, and like it was. If it's a beer person, as a craft beer person, if you know anything about it, if you see one, you just buy it. You don't even ask about the price. You just that you may not have a chance to get it again. At least not very quickly. So this is a sour ale. Oh, by Dave! Look on Dave's face.
He loves it.
Wincing as
Very
he drinks
sour.
it.
Yeah.
It is very sour. Like this is.
It's like more of a traditional sour. I
Yes.
wouldn't say it's very sour. It's not like
It's tart.
it's very drinkable if you like sours. If you don't like sours, like this guy right here, it probably is very tart.
Yeah.
I don't find it to be that sour.
I try to put it in reference to that.
Yeah.
But also, 10 years ago, you probably wouldn't have said that. You'd been like, "Oh my God, it's so sour."
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah.
Because today's quote unquote sours are, barely sour.
Yeah.
Well, you got the smoothie sours and
Kettle sours and
all the other
stuff. This is
madness.
spontaneously fermented, which basically it uses the air. It's open fermented. When they
wild
make-
yeast.
Yeah, and when they make the mash and they have the wort, and normally you would put in the yeast strain, and it would be in a sealed container. This is just left open, and it uses the yeast that's in the what some people call a farmhouse or brewery, just the natural yeast from the air. So,
Purposefully contaminated.
yeah, so every brewery you could have the same recipe and everything, but then because the air is different and the atmosphere is different in each building, each brewery, it's gonna produce a different flavor, different type of beer. So
That's wild.
It is wild. That's wild stuff.
so
Wild.
like I said, it's Belgium, it's in Brussels. Started in 1900 by Paul Cantillon, hence the name. It's not just a coincidence.
1900.
1900. It's not in his family anymore, but currently Jean-Pierre Van Roy is the current brewer and owner. You could go on for days about kind of history and stuff behind it. It's 20 years ago or so, it was like pretty much the only brewery left in Brussels, even though they have this grand tradition of brewing and stuff like that. But obviously, there wasn't really a need for that. Craft beer and stuff like that just wasn't a huge thing. But now there's over like 100 breweries just in Brussels.
Yeah.
And some of them are revamped from back in the day and stuff like that.
Need
But
to take a trip to Brussels.
Yes.
we tried one time.
No.
And some guy had a heart attack on the plane
Oh.
going over the pond. And
Yeah.
we had to stop in,
Newfoundland.
yeah.
Newfoundland.
Newfoundland.
So, yeah, that sucked. But
So we had a train trip planned to go from
Amsterdam to
to Brussels.
to Brussels. And of course, we missed that because we missed our connecting in Iceland and all that other stuff. And so, but add it back to the list.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely pretty unique thing. I don't know. I imagine people that listen to this podcast have definitely been in a brewery, have probably been on a brewery tour. They're all kind of standard. This is like old world type brewing. Like I said, they do the spontaneous fermentation. They use a cool ship, which is essentially just a big open vessel for the wort. And up until like just 5-6 years ago, we didn't even have cool ships in America. I'm probably like 10 years ago. I think the first cool ship in the Southeast was it was probably Sierra Nevada. They have one. So that's pretty cool ship. A lot of the beers, they age in barrels. And what's the different styles they have? I know, Kriek, the Kriek is their... So Lambic is a style of beer, but then there's variations of that. Lambic's just basically a reference to the grain bill and ingredients, kind of like with whiskey or bourbon. Like it's got to be a certain amount of this, certain amount of that. But it is generally a sour. I mean, it's going to have to be a sour because they're almost always spontaneously fermented, or at least a strain of yeast derived from that. And then the Kriek has basically just been aged with cherries.
Yeah.
Hence, it's, you can see that
Cherry flavor.
kind of dark
Or
cherry.
color.
Cherry notes, looks like cherry. To me, it's sour. Have you ever had a wild cherry off a wild cherry tree? That's not the type of cherry they use, but it's very reminiscent of that to me.
I find these beers to be really interesting because they're much more like wine than I think
Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
beer.
I would agree with that.
You get barrel characteristics and a bunch of other things, and also you get a lot of flavor from the fruit, which is another interesting thing.
Yeah. A lot of people would consider, this a goose. That starts to get into stuff I don't really quite grasp. Why is this a goose? I think maybe the proper pronunciation. But spontaneously fermented wild ale, essentially. So it's your typical craft beer drinker who likes peanut butter jelly, marshmallow, sour. May not appreciate this at first, but I don't know.
Man, it's
I think it could grow on you. I mean, what's your can either one of y'all or any of y'all remember the first time you ever had a sour beer? And your thoughts and
I don't,
reaction.
but that was probably so long ago that I'm sure it was a traditional sour, not the kind of sours that they have now. I don't remember what the first one I had was.
I think we were kind of introduced to more sours with Wicked Weed was really kind of the one that made it popular at least in the Southeast.
Yes.
With their Funkatorium and all that. Their Angel series, majority of their Angel series was fantastic.
Yes, I
R&B.
agree. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, oddly enough, as bad as my memory is, I do remember the first sour I ever had. It was a New Belgium sour in a bottle that Jamie got, and we tried together. And I'm like, it was one of those deals of, this is disgusting. Can you pour me a little more? And as I don't know that I left after drinking that going, let's go out and get some sours. But as we had, here and there, had more, pretty hard to find back then. And then, like you said, Wicked Weed kind of opened it up.
Yeah, Wicked Weed really, at least in North Carolina, really brought the sour game. I mean, that was a lot of what you saw as far as sours go.
Yeah. That was, I can remember waiting in line for, it was like the White Angel or something like that it was Dark Angel.
It was Dark Angel.
Yeah.
Variants, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
And now we're just like, waiting in line for a beer. Are you nuts?
Yeah, the Wicked Weed, especially the Funkatorium, was kind of like our answer to Cantillon. But, no.
You could draw some parallels to at least stuff that they used to do to, what they do with the wild fermentation and stuff like that. And Fonta Flora does some of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sure do.
They still do that.
I mean, they there's a reason they call themselves a farmhouse brewery.
Yeah.
Man, I'm trying to remember that strawberry beer. It was like the birthday.
Oh yeah, that was good. I think that was wild. I think that was a wild fermented.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
I'd imagine coming from them it was for sure. So yeah, like I said, if you're a beer person and if you like sours, I would say even if you like we said, the crazy sours of today, the smoothie sours, man, pick up a bottle of Cantillon. It's going to be expensive. I don't remember what I paid for that, but probably pushing $30
or more. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe more. But I don't know. It might be the only time you ever could try it. we were at a festival in Charleston. It doesn't exist anymore, but you remember when they, about halfway through, the Shelton Brothers reps busted out like six different bottles.
Yeah, it was.
We lost our minds over like trying to roll up there and like, hey, guy, where they at? Where they at? Like following them around. Like, give me a sample of this. Give me a sample of that.
Yeah, they were pouring Foo, which is one of their apricot sours that is just mind blowing. But how are they? Because now the Shelton Brothers are no longer like a deal.
Yeah, that whole thing.
It's like the Fire Festival.
Yeah.
The deal. But,
They still got $250 of my money.
Yeah, same.
bastards.
The beer festivals really kind of fell off, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's not much of a thing anymore. I think the next one around here is the Bruisology thing. Or are we going to go to that? I think I might
talked
try
to
to go to that.
The
You know about the
finance
Bruisology?
person.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I would like to. It's just gonna be a timing thing. That's a cool, that's stuff we should talk about on this podcast.
Yeah.
That's a cool beer festival in Uptown Charlotte at
Was it Panther Stadium?
No, it's at the Discovery Place.
yeah, Discovery Place, which is like a museum. I mean,
It's a science museum.
yeah, science museum. Some people say it's for kids, but
I'm a big kid.
that's for
Hey,
everybody.
nothing like going around drinking beer and playing with science experiments.
Yeah, a lot of interactive stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool getting drunk and then going, we'll try to knock this ball in the air with this stupid machine or something.
I'm going to use this pulley attached to this seat to lift myself up off the ground.
I'm the strongest. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So Bruisology. It's in February.
Bruisology. Yeah.
February.
Didn't you try to wrestle like a nurse shark or something? No, I'm totally just made that up. But
I don't think they have. Well, they had an aquarium in there.
Yeah, they
Wasn't
did,
very
but
much.
it was small
sea
sea creatures. Yeah.
Yeah, had a lot of good food trucks. Yeah, it's a good. There's mostly local breweries, but a few more across the state and out of state came. It was a good old time.
it's good. I was thinking of the Untapped festival.
Oh God, that was almost like the Fire Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean it did happen, but
Didn't it happen twice? Didn't they have two
I
of
think they
those?
did 2 years in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
permits are hard. I don't.
Organizing's hard. They can't even get. Nah, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I used them.
And
so let's move on. So yeah, any questions?
I don't think so. Are we gonna rate this? Or
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
I give it 95 wild yeasts out of 100.
I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 Cantillon bottles.
I'm gonna give it 968
There we go.
out of 1,000. Crazy dancing guys on the front of the bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on that bottle, but that's our logo.
Yeah.
Insert logo here, Dave, with the crazy guy, dancing guy.
Dave, you're just this is just home runs for
Oh
you.
Lord,
Here we go.
here we go.
Yeah. This is so often I compliment these beers that I don't like by saying it didn't cause me pain. I can't say that about this one.
Man.
The first hit, a sharp pain where my earlobe connects to my jaw
If you want.
line, which I had to work out with a little finger massage, and it only got worse from there. 0 out of infinity on that one. I mean, it's one of those. I've had these before. It seems like a competent one of those. If I'm putting my nonpartisan hat on, it seems like a good one of those. And if you like that sort of thing, you'll like this sort of thing. But yeah, no, this is not for me in any way, shape, or form. But to those who like it, enjoy it.
The Untapped description, word for word, what he just said.
Man.
Oh, okay.
Man.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow.
Incredible. Yeah, my only feedback is it should come with like an antacid, because if you suffer
Yeah.
from heartburn, it will mess you up. Just saying.
I mess you up.
And this episode is brought to us by Pepsi AC. No, it's one of those kind of deals.
All right, break out that bourbon.
All right, so
This is fancy.
This is fancy. This is like an ordeal. I
Move
gotta
this glass out of the way here.
Yeah. So This one, today's bourbon, or this week's bourbon, is Booker's. It's from the James B. Beam Distillery in Clermont, Kentucky. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, that was weak. That was weak.
Put it back in there and do it again.
That was weak. So there's a bunch of different variations with this. No,
That was a
still-
little better. Yeah, we'll have to roll with it.
maybe.
Eventually, we get a good one, and Dave can just edit it in every time.
So this is a big boy bourbon. So I'm pouring little bits of that.
Little bits.
So this is like 126.7% or something like that. We'll spot of that.
For reference, what is Buffalo Trace about?
It's like 90.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a big one, right? So Booker.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Whoa,
it's a lot. It's a lot. So
Stings the nostrils.
they make a bunch of different variations of this, and they started out in like 92, I think it was. And so this was kind of like in honor of Booker No, which is Jim Beam's cousin, or not cousin, grandson.
Booker
Not
what?
in
What's his
honor of
name?
the Booker T, the wrestler. That's what I was
I
thinking.
thought it was honor of like maybe Booker T, the wrestler, was doing something, and somebody went Booker No.
So this is the Kentucky Tea Batch edition. So,
I thought you were going to say Kentucky tea bag.
oh man, that would be awesome, right? So Booker, his favorite dinner drink was 1 part bourbon, 4 parts water, right? And so he called it Kentucky tea. Right.
Okay.
And so he kind of has a famous quote that says, "Why would I flavor my water with tea leaves when I can flavor my water with bourbon?" And I
All right,
totally
yeah.
get that, right? So again, Booker was a master distiller at the James B. Beam Distillery from 1960 to 1992.
There he is,
Yeah, right.
right there.
So it's a mash bill of
Right over?
77% corn, 13% rye, and then 10% malted barley. All of the Bookers are aged around 6 to 8 years. This one was 7 years, 4 months, and 14 days.
That's very specific.
Right?
It is
Very specific.
3 hours and 10 minutes.
So Booker's is known for its really high alcohol content. All the batches are like 124 plus proof. So it's known as cast strength. So cast strength is it was bottled at its original proof without any dilution or any kind of water added or anything like that. So it's straight from the barrel.
So you were talking about heartburn with the Cantillon? Instant heartburn.
Yeah.
Instant heartburn with this one.
It's got that Kentucky hug.
Yeah.
It
All the
definitely-
way down.
So I will say, I opened this bottle about a year ago, and I've just let it breathe. Because at first, if you think this is strong now, you should have had it when I first popped the bottle.
Yeah, it had to have been like drinking straight rubbing alcohol.
It was a punch to the chest, and this is actually mellowed a lot.
Yeah, I mean it tastes good, but it's strong. I mean it's
It'll get you drunk.
yeah.
It's a we refer to this as a big boy bourbon.
Yeah, you definitely feel the burn.
You feel the burn.
I tell you, it mellows out on the nose a little bit the
Yeah.
more you let it sit.
So
Yes, I agree.
I get a lot of like dark fruits, kind of like fig kind of deal.
Persimmon.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Persimmon.
nice rye, spice, some vanilla, a little bit of leather on the back end.
I can taste the roast. Roasted barley. It's very good.
It's definitely a sipper.
It's a big boy. It's a big boy bourbon.
It changes even that little bit. It changes dramatically from the first sip to the last.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot of people would add a couple, drops of water in this just to kind of cool it down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take some Tums when I get home.
Between the Cantillon and the
This episode today is brought to you by Tom's. No, but yeah, it's definitely one of those. All right. So the bottle's $100, right? This would be a bottle that you would share, maybe special occasions. Somebody that comes over that has a big passion for bourbon, or just wants to try something a little unique. I think this is a great introduction. Is it an everyday drinker? No, at least in my opinion.
I would agree.
For the bourbons that I like, I would not consider this a beginner bourbon.
No, definitely not.
It's one of those that'll.
If you drink that and you've never had bourbon before, you'll probably never drink it again.
Also, if you need to, I don't know, maybe start a lawnmower, something like that. I really like it. I did not really like it when I first popped the bottle, but after it's kind of cooled down a little bit, opened up, I do really like it. So,
yeah, I like it a lot too, and I'm actually kind of surprised because maybe based on your first opinion when you first opened a bottle, and even a few others I've talked to, it's not been probably for the money and the hype. People have said it's not been worth it.
no.
I mean, $100, that's a lot of money, but it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
It's pretty complex, and there's a lot going on there.
I'm grateful to have it. Would I buy it again?
Where'd you get it?
I don't even remember where I got this. Actually, no, I do. I got it at an ABC store right outside of Cary, North Carolina.
Okay.
Pretty sure they got a bottle of this behind the counter at a ABC store in Cramerton. I don't know which variation it is, but
There's I was like, oh, there's going to be like 10 different variations. No, it's a lot. But the cool thing about it is number one, I love the display case. That's really cool. Also comes a little card.
Has a little collector card with it.
Yeah. And it even tells you
Certificate of authenticity.
right.
this bourbon is real.
Tells you the batch story, but also it even comes down to 2% of this came from the third floor of the 7th story warehouse 5.
Wow.
1% came from the 4th floor of the 7th story of warehouse X. I mean, it goes through all that, but it definitely makes a nice display. It's a nice piece to have in your collection. I'll say that.
Any reasoning behind that? Case?
All the research that I've done regarding that didn't talk about the case at all, which I found it a little hard to believe. Actually,
Just
one
a
of the
marketing tool.
Yeah, one of the things that kind of drew me to this was the actual case, because I was like, oh, this is really cool, and then started doing, whipped out my phone, did a quick Google search, and was like, yeah, okay, I'm a buyer. So, yeah, $100. That'd probably be the max that I would pay for a bottle of bourbon.
But you'll probably be holding on to that for a while.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Also, you can see how much I've
Right.
consumed of it in the last year. So
If you think about, $100 on something that's going to last you a while,
yeah,
you're going to share with people. There's a story behind it, and it's good.
That's not terrible.
it's not bad.
There's a lot of bourbons out there that are much more expensive
yeah,
without that high of an ABV and not as complex as that.
yes. If I were to do it all over again, I would buy 2 bottles of Russell's 10-year, the single barrel, for the same price.
Okay.
I think this might be going a little off track here, but I think so many people, a lot of these bottles have gotten so hyped up because they're so smooth. And that's great as an everyday drinker. But, like, there's no fun in that if they're just so smooth. It's like, hey, I can just just drink Jack Daniels at that point. I'm not saying do that. That was definitely a reach. But if you're buying, like, Buffalo Trace, for instance, is a good example. Yeah, I like it because it's so smooth and easy to drink. Well, that's fine, and it tastes good. Don't get me wrong, but now it's getting a little better. But you made it where it was allocated, and you couldn't get it anymore, and it was, hard to find, and even sometimes priced higher because it was hard to find. And Blanton's is like that too. You're talking about 12, 13 years ago, walking in any store and buy a bottle of Blanton's, no problem.
You could find Pappy on the shelf.
I mean, I've got a friend that's every year for his dad's birthday, he bought him like a $35 bottle of 12-year Pappies. And I mean, I've had it, and it's good. Is it worth retail?
All you bourbon nerds out there need to start buying other things.
Yeah.
Well, it's starting to shift that way. They're starting to make like
it is. Yeah.
What's the very old Barton?
Yeah,
is like a $20 bottle.
Yeah.
They've made that where that's allocated now.
That's
crazy.
It's
But I don't know. It's anything else. All these beer nerds switch over to bourbon.
yeah. That's kind of the trend.
They ruin it for everybody.
Damn it. Damn kids.
Well, as you get older, you can't really drink as much beer. It kind of sits. All the beer just sits there with you,
It makes me bloated.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's just one of those things.
I'm waiting to find that out.
Oh, well, I found it out. So as far as ratings, I would give this 4 out of 6 Tums.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. I'm gonna say, even though I was a little hard on it, it's still a great quality product. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 7 Tums. Dewayne?
I'm gonna give it 8.75 out of 10 decorative bourbon wood cases.
Oh, that's
Nice
new.
scale. That's a nice
new.
scale.
Yeah, I like it.
I'll give it. I'll give it 12 out of 14. Target brand, Equate brand Tums.
Okay. Yeah.
Up and up. I'm sorry, up and up.
Equate brand
is,
antacids.
Yes, antacid tablets.
Yeah.
Going generic on the ratings.
Nice.
Well, cool. Thanks for sharing that, man. I know that's a special bottle, and
It's a bottle that was deep in the cabinet.
yeah,
Deep.
man. We had some. I mean, at the Cantillon,
Some pretty rare stuff.
Biscuitville.
I mean,
It's very special. Very special.
Woo! This is a special episode.
Yeah.
we swinging for the fence.
This is like this is up there with Jesse taking the weight loss pills or whatever.
Caffeine pills.
Caffeine pills. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a Saved by the Bell reference?
Yeah, it was.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, was it caffeine pills or was it speed?
Is there a difference?
I think it was. Well, I mean, this was
It was
the daytime kids
Trucker
comedy,
speed.
so I think it was just caffeine pills.
She just drank a lot of Coke.
It was
Yeah.
no dose.
Yeah,
It was one of those kind of deals.
she was very scared.
As were a lot of people.
All righty. Well,
I think that wraps up another one.
Yeah.
and another one.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, this has been the Beer-Bourbon-Breakfast podcast. Shot, recorded, everything on location at 115 Craft,
Yeah.
McAdenville, North Carolina. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm Dewayne,
I'm still Andrew.
And I'm Dave.
and this has been the Beer-Bourbon-Breakfast podcast.